You want to come singing? Come on. I know. There's been something, baby, I'm trying to say. For an age, and it seems I don't know how. The past and the future now surrounding me. Surrender to whatever cheap thrill can be found. There's been a little trouble since you came to my rescue. And if you were like all of the rest, I would have quit you long ago, but I couldn't do that. Oh, tell me now, women and why never went too well. Make a man crazy, make him cold as hell. I know, woman, that you wish me well, but in spite of your trying, still gonna have to find my own way through. Good evening, good people. Thank you, Silver Fox, for those kind gifts. It's very swell of you. Appreciate it. Not necessary, but appreciated. Oh, good Lord. Happy Monday. How was the weekend? Did you do your homework? Spend time with yourself, your family, figure out what your... Did you find your special purpose? Did you find your special purpose? You have to be a Gen Xer and a Steve Martin fan to get that joke. No, same old guitar strap, just maybe aimed it at the camera different. Silver Fox, I made some stuff. It was a good weekend. Good. Good. So I'll share something fucking wild with you. I didn't know this. Well, I did know it. Well, no, I didn't know it. I know it now. I entered this past weekend an amateur, and I emerged a professional. And I'll tell you what that actually means. But what I learned is that in my lifetime, I'm fucking ancient. I have never been a professional. And I started yesterday. Yesterday was Sunday. I started yesterday morning, and it feels like everything's different. And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm going to tell you. I will tell you. It has nothing to do with AI, and it has everything to do with AI. The trigger was a book. Now, you're a bunch of neurospices. Some of you got the ADD card. So if your relationship to books is anything like my relationship to books, reading books fucking sucks. Book lovers are like, what? How could you say that? Because you don't understand how this brain works. When you lack prefrontal cortex or whatever the fuck is going on up here, the minute I look at a page, the only thing I'm thinking is, how long is this paragraph? How long is this book? And am I done yet? The possibility of actually taking in the words on the page is very low. It's very low. And then on top of that, I've got this double eye infection, so I can barely read. But I've been working on some things, and I've been getting coached from Andy. And Andy has been remarkable, really good, amazing. If you need a coach, you should consider calling her. And if you don't know how to find her, she's in the AI salon. She's very prevalent there. She helps make that place rock. And so, I don't know, 2 months ago, maybe when we started coaching, maybe before, I avoided anything Super Bowl. I'll talk a little bit about that. Anyway, she not only recommended a book to me, but she actually bought it. Like, it showed up on my doorstep. And I said, hey, I got this book. And she said, yeah, I should read that. I was like, okay. And then I didn't. And then, every week or two, she's like, you read that book yet? Nope. You gonna read it? Yep. Fully intending to never read it, right? And then, but I've been having some breakthroughs. I've been having some clarity. I've been treating, my AI stuff as a practice, my life as a practice, using AI. And so I had a couple more breakthroughs this week. She finally said, she goes, I think it was on Friday. I don't know what it was. She goes, Kyle, read the fucking book. You gotta read the fucking book. So I was like, fine. So I got up Saturday morning, and I knew that the book was on my desk, right? Because I have ADD, and even though I have a lot of stuff on my desk, I know where all my shit is. And so I look on my desk, and the book's not fucking there. There's no book. It's not there. And so I look, and I look, and I look, and I pull boxes out, and I pull bags out, and it's not fucking there. And I look over here, and I got a pile of books, and I pull out this pile of books, and these are all from producer Brandon. None of these are the books. These are not the books she wanted me to read. 10,000 Minute Mindset was not it. So it took me about an hour. Did you read what I posted? Wait, in Irregulars, too long for here. Okay, I'll take a look at it, Steve-O. So anyway, so I found the book. It was in my computer bag. So like I was carrying it with me every day, but fully intending not to read it. And so the book is called Turning Pro by Steven something. Steven. I've got another book of his here. Pressfield. He wrote The War of Art. And so I start reading the book. And what's cool about the book, especially for someone with ADD, is there's only like 2 ideas in it. It's like stupid simple. And the entire book is just him making the same point over and over and over and over again. And you're like, I think I might get this at some point. And he fucking hammers it home again, and he hammers it home again, and he tells a story about it, then he tells another story about it, then he tells you again. There's a lesson in that, right? Distill things down to their simplest points and then just fucking hammer them home over and over and over again. The book opens up and it talks about, it references the War of Art, and it talks in the War of Art about this thing called the resistance, which is when you get in touch with your true purpose, when you get in touch with who you really are, the resistance shows up, right? The resistance is that observer in your head, that asshole that's like, they don't really want to hear from you. The fucking asshole. The asshole that's there to protect you, right? The asshole that is how you're as successful as you are, that at some point in your life you realize that asshole doesn't work for me anymore. But it won't shut the fuck up, right? So that's the resistance, and giving into the resistance and all that sort of shit. So that was from the War of Art. And then he talks about, in almost all kind of self-help book kinds of things, there's sort of two modes. There's the I forget how you called it, like the medical mode, like you're sick and you need treatment, right? Some version of that. Or there's the moralistic mode, right? You're wrong and you need to make it right. And he said, I'm going to offer you a third modality. And that's what this book is about. And the third modality is you're either an amateur or you're a pro. I was like, well, that's pretty fucking simple. Like, yeah, I've been a pro. I've got a company. I'm a professional. I get paid for what I do. And then he just goes about sort of distinguishing these two, I guess, archetypes, these two ways of being. And he says you're either an amateur or a pro, or he says you're either an addict or an artist. And he talks a lot about secondary careers, and the secondary careers are the careers that you do that make you feel like you're pursuing your mission, but you're really not. In his case, he wanted to be a writer, and he read Jack Kerouac's On the Road. And so he became a long haul trucker. He did it for like 10 years because, he read the book. He fell in love with writing. He fell in love with the story. And he wanted to live that story. And he said, how do you put it? He goes, but all I was doing was driving away from the thing I really wanted to do, which was write. I wanted to write the stories, not be in it. And he goes, and it was a shitty version of it. Being a long haul trucker does not have the romance of Jack Kerouac's, cross country road trip. So he says, you're either an amateur or a pro. And there was a passage in it that that said, amateurs feel fear. And I was like, oh, fuck. Yeah, we do. I'm like, yeah, amateurs feel fear. And he wrote a little passage about it. And then I turned the page, and on the next page it said, professionals feel fear too. It's just that they don't let it stop them. They keep going. And I was like, fuck. And then he talks about this distinction of being an addict, and it could be an addict to substances or sex or whatever it is. It can be all sorts of addictions, but it can also be like being addicted to doing anything except the thing you're called to do. And he talks about when you're being an addict, you distract yourself to the point of incapacitation. Hey, Black Bar and Cams. Oh yeah, sorry about that. Brandon told me he was going to be late, and he said, just the one thing I want to tell you, please make sure you do your cams in your Black Bar. And then I got on here and started waxing poetic about being professional and was not professional. But let me unpack this for you, because I think this is a really important one. And I think one of the reasons that I think this is so important in the age of AI is AI is addictive. AI is absolutely addictive, right? You've seen nights here where I just get wrapped up in something and we just blow through three hours. When he talks about when you're an amateur, you think a lot about your calling. You think about it all the time. He carried around a Smith Corona typewriter for a decade in his car. Like, it was packed in the back of his car under shit. He couldn't get to it, but it was there. He knew it was there. He thought about that typewriter all the time. It was there for a decade while he was being a trucker. And he talks about when you're an amateur, when you're an addict, what the addiction is the addiction is to distracting yourself to the point of incapacitation. He said, because when you're incapacitated, you're not responsible for your vision, for your purpose, for your why, for your passion. I couldn't do it. I was incapacitated. It's this brilliant, addictive distraction from who you are. And I'm like reading this thing and I'm going, oh, fuck. Like, so much of my life are these series of distractions to the point of incapacitation. Like, I have moments, I mean, I would call myself a high functioning amateur because when I decide to do something, I'm powerful enough to put it into motion, right? And I can put this shit into motion. And it actually manifests in the world. Like, that's fucking amazing. It's an amazing feeling when I do that. But then I talked about this idea of I manifest these things and I get out of the driver's seat and I get in the back seat of the car and I'm like, why aren't they driving the direction I want to go? Right? I distract myself to the point of incapacitation. And then as he goes through the book, he defines this idea of being a professional as the professional just shows up. The professional just does it. The professional cuts the limes, right? If you've ever been a bartender, I bartended for a bunch of years in Manhattan. First thing you do when you get in is you bitch about whoever closed up the night before because they left it a fucking mess. And then you cut the limes and you make the syrups and you do the shit and you pour the shit in the shit and you go in the back you do the work. And you do it every day. And it's not glamorous. But if you're an addict, if you're an amateur, you let yourself be distracted to the point of incapacitation. And the other thing he said in the book was, I don't even know if this is making sense or tracking. The other thing he said in the book was about, how did he put it? Fuck, it went out of my head. It's funny. I just got self-conscious about what I'm talking about, and my brain emptied. We need a book club. Yeah, this is total book club. So what I'm talking about is Turning Pro by Steven Pressfield. Is that right? Pressfield. Steven Pressfield, Turning Pro. I would highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. He said a professional puts in the time. They put in the time every day. And they don't bitch about it. There's no drama to it. It's a commitment. Oh, this is the thing he said in the book. I got it back. He said, you're going to remember the day you turn pro as clearly as you remember 9/11. Remember where you were on 9/11? It's going to be that clear to you. And as I'm reading that with my double vision and my shitty ADHD brain, and I'm reading about, every 10th word clearly, I just, like, what popped in my head was like the angry Gen Xer going, oh, bullshit. I'm not going to remember the day I turned pro like it was 9/11. That's horse shit. Bullshit. Kept reading. He said it again 2 or 3 times. He just keeps making the same points over and over and over again. And they're just going like, bang, bang. You going to let him in? You going to let him in? You going to let him in? And, I'm sitting there because, I'm clever and smart and I'm good with words, and I'm sitting there trying to intellectualize all this stuff. And I get it. Yeah, I understood what this book was about in page 1 because I'm pretty clever. And then he just keeps hammering the same point home over and over again. And at some point, it started to stick. And so I finished it. I finished a book. There's a moment in the book he talks about, he finally, after realizing that being a long-haul trucker was not writing, it was being a long-haul trucker. He finally decided to quit that job and to pull his Smith Corona typewriter out of his car. He unburied it out of the car and put it in this little cinder block house he was renting. And he wrote for 2 hours that first day, and he crumpled it all up and threw it away because it was horrible, because he hadn't written in 10 years. He was a long-haul trucker. And he said he woke up the next day and he sat down at the typewriter, and he woke up the next day and he sat down at the typewriter. And I think it was 2 years later, he was typing on the typewriter and he typed the words, "The end." He completed something that was tied to his passion, was tied to who he was, that couldn't be finished in an instant, that couldn't just be a distraction. YouTube, somebody wants to actually talk about AI. Okay, we'll get to YouTube in a second. We'll talk about AI. I'm talking about personal transformation here, so indulge me. Or not. You don't have to hang out. But I will get to AI. He said professionals put in the time to be able to do the thing over time that is tied to who they are. Because if it's your passion, it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to have to, you're going to have to discover it. You're going to have to discover who you are. Like all the stuff we've been talking about with having a daily practice, with understanding who you are, understanding your point of view, understanding your values, understanding who you care about, understanding what you want to do with them. All of that requires you to be in touch with who you are and show up and do the work. Cut the lines, put the paper in the typewriter, do the things, do the things, do the things. So I woke up Sunday morning and I said, you have a choice. You can be an amateur or you can be a professional. You can be an addict or you can be an artist. And I said, fuck it. I'm an artist. I'm a professional. And I'm going to do the work. And what that looks like for me right now is I vibe coded this project management app called Project Cardboard. Some of you saw it. Some of you downloaded it and played with it or like it. It's a website. And I built this whole thing to track all my projects, but I never populated the project cards with the actual tasks I need to do. Like I just let my tasks float into the ether. And at some point I pulled them out. Here's what I realized. I realized this yesterday afternoon, after being a professional for a day. it hit me how, as an amateur, my relationship with my non-urgent tasks. So let me talk about urgent and non-urgent tasks. Urgent tasks are the checking account's under by $20. You got to move some money around. Urgent tasks are the client just called and our app doesn't work. You've got to troubleshoot it, right? Our days are filled with urgent tasks. Urgent tasks are easy because they're urgent. They just, right? How you get to who you are and how you get to full self-expression is the non-urgent tasks. So I realized on Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening, my relationship with non-urgent tasks looks like this. We'll just take it on a 7-day week starting on Sunday. So Sunday starts to look like, all right, Kyle, the weekend's over. All the shit that you promised yourself you would do, you haven't done. So you're a fucking loser. And then I start to think about, what are the tasks that I've been avoiding for so long that they absolutely have to be done, and they're humiliating that I haven't done them? And it's easy to find the list. You can find, if you have historically led with shame, finding evidence that you should be shameful about, pretty easy, right? So I find these things. So I spend most of the day Sunday beating myself up for these things that should have been done 2 months ago. The longer the time, the juicier the shame, right? I promised myself I'd get that thing done on December 1st. We just hit fucking February. Hey, you fucking loser, right? So that's Sunday. Then Monday is pep talk day. Okay, you're a professional. You can do this. It's gonna be big. You take those things you didn't do, and we're gonna cheers, and then we're gonna. So all day Monday, I'm like pep talking myself. We're gonna do the things. Tomorrow's gonna be awesome. And then Tuesday comes, and I have the 10 things that I've bludgeoned myself with and pep talked myself into. And I've got these 10 things I'm gonna do on Tuesday. And I get 3 of them done, 2 of them really well, and the third one kind of shitty, and 7 I didn't get done at all. And then Wednesday comes, and I'm waiting, and I'm looking around, and what I'm waiting for is someone to tell me how awesome I am that I did those things. I'm waiting for the participation trophy of life. Like, you did good, right? You did good. This is good. Good boy. Good. And then Wednesday would come and go, and I would not get that recognition. And I would start to get deflated. And then Thursday and Friday would be like, oh, fuck. And I would go into addict land and distract myself to the point of incapacitation. I just fuck around, and I'd go into AI, and I would, Corey Sandler today called it doom generating. Fucking just generate pictures for 18 hours. She goes, it's just like doom scrolling, but it's doom generating, right? So I'll doom generate for 2 days. And then Saturday, I'll think, yeah, I'm going to get some stuff done on Saturday, and I'll do whatever. I have to go shopping. I have to do family shit. I have to, whatever you do, right? And then Sunday, this cycle starts over again. So in a given week, on average, I do 3 non-urgent tasks. And I spend the rest of the fucking week in some form of anxiety over the shit I'm not doing. And so I started on Sunday. I said, okay, I'm a professional. I'm just going to start doing tasks. And like my first task is gather your tasks. I remember Cindy Kuhn was talking about when she did it back in November, she did it with Post-it notes, and she designed a whole system, and then she actually kept it up and kept going. She said it took her like, 2 weeks to just get her tasks written down that she hadn't done. And she committed to just sort of blasting through that whiteboard, which she's done. She's designed a whole system around it now, which if you're in the AI salon, today we had week 2 of her 4-week sprint on turning your practice into a system. So what happened for me on Sunday was I started doing my tasks, and I started improving the project management tool that I vibe coded. One of the other things I realized, if I can't finish something in a sitting, I don't have any interest in it anymore. And the whole thing about this book of like just doing stuff over time, just show up and do the work and do the work and do the work, is the only way you can build something of substance that is something you care about. And so I'm doing these tasks, and I was doing one task and I thought about another task, and I had this instinctive anxiety happen, which was, what if I don't get that done today? It was this panic. What if I don't get it done today? And like what popped in my head is, it's okay, you'll be working on it tomorrow. It wasn't this single momentous day where I was going to do all the non-urgent stuff. It was just like, I'm going to do some non-urgent stuff today. I'm going to do some non-urgent stuff tomorrow. I'm going to do some non-urgent stuff, right? One of the non-urgent things is clean my fucking office and my living space, which is an absolute fucking train wreck, like humiliating. Not quite hoarder, but it's pretty fucking close. And I think one of the reasons I've historically gotten paralyzed about it is I think if I can't clean this all in a sitting, I'm a failure. Like if I can't do it in the adrenaline rush, I'm a failure, right? So you don't do it. So you know what I did on Sunday? I did a little bit of it. I chopped up some styrofoam packing material from a computer I bought, and I threw it, I put it in a garbage bag, and I took it out to the garbage. And I had that anxiety. What if you don't get it done? What if you don't get it done? I'm like, it's okay. I'll just work on it tomorrow. I'll just work on it tomorrow. So at the end of Sunday, at the end of that first day, I realized that that fucker was right when he said, you're going to remember the day you turned pro as clearly as 9/11. Because it's like it hit me how much fucking anxiety I have in my life because I don't just show up and do the fucking work. The non-urgent, non-sexy. Follow up on that email. Read that thing. Do the thing you said you were going to do. Respond to that guy that's really excited to meet you. It's all just little shit. And there's nothing dramatic about it unless you turn it into drama. And I became a fucking master. I was an addict of creating distraction to the point of incapacitation. So anyway, so today was my second day as a professional. And I even found, looking at the clock, the hours left in the day, as less stressful. I didn't have anxiety around them. Like if I, in my amateur days, you know, last Saturday and earlier for 60 years, in my amateur days, I would look at the 2-hour block at the end of the day and I'd be a little tired and I'd be like, I don't want to do anything, but like there's 2 hours left. So I should probably like do something that's kind of like work. And like, there was all this anxiety around, what do I do at the time? What do I do at the time? Cause it's not enough. I'm too tired to really do something big and powerful. But there's only 2 hours, but it's 2 hours. So you can't do nothing. So there was all this anxiety around these 2 fucking hours. And I looked at the clock today and it was 3 o'clock and there wasn't anything else to do. I wanted to go to Cindy's thing. There wasn't anything else to do. And I thought, okay, I'll watch Cindy's thing. And then that last hour, I'll do some more things. And if I don't get them done, it's okay. I'll do that tomorrow. And I'll do that tomorrow. And I'll do that tomorrow. So anyway, so I'm 2 days into it. I'm a professional. So anyway, there you go. Who wants to talk about AI? Was that worthwhile to anyone? That fucking ramble? We're supposed to have meltdown Mondays. I didn't quite melt down there, but you know, when your life is being transformed in real time, especially when I've got a venue like this where the majority of people that hang out here really love each other and really love me, and I really love you guys. It's pretty lucky. I feel pretty lucky to be able to process what's happening to an audience that I know a lot of you are working on the same shit. Like I know you are. I see you. I'm in the meetings with you. In the meetings. In the AI salon, we've got these mastermind meetings, and people are in there doing having a daily practice sounds sexy, and it's not. It's not sexy. It's powerful. It's transformative. But it's not sexy, and it's not easy. And so knowing that there's people here that are on some version of the journey, like these kind of changes can be really lonely, because Andy described it as the narrow path. As you get more and more clear on who you are, the path narrows. And what that means is there's people that were around you that are not going to be on that same path anymore. And so, I don't know, knowing that I've got a community here that, you know, can at least see it and see me. It's really cool. Yes, it was, judging by the comments. Not me, I'm just a hobbyist. I only mess with graphics and stuff. Video games like things for fun. Don't make us start crying. don't make us start crying. Listen, what's cool about this shift from amateur to professional, like when Liz Miller-Gershfeld came on here and asked me, what do you want more of, Kyle? And I fucking cried for 2 hours and just sat in silence for 15 minutes at a shot. I mean, that was definitely a possibility tonight, but there's something about this. There's something about reading the book when I did. I mean, literally at the bludgeoning of Andy. Read the fucking book. There's something so simple about it. There's something so simple about it. But it's like I kind of feel like I've got these dominoes falling, and they're just sort of dominoes of self-awareness and subconscious habits revealing themselves. And so one of the things that I got to experience in my life is I had a business that became incredibly successful. Like we even went public and ended up selling it to Omnicom, and it was like an incredible success, and we grew really quickly, and I learned all this stuff. Like I probably have 5 MBAs in my head of what to do and what not to do and how to scale businesses. Like it's all there. And when I sold that in 2002, I don't think I've made a significant personal jump until the end of 2025. It's been like 23 years. 23 years of me being in essentially the same state I was in, which is a really unhealthy state when I sold agency.com. I went through like 10 years of low-level depression, and then I just have been in this sort of just try again. If nothing else, I'm persistent, right? Which I think is one of the keys to entrepreneurship. You just got to show up. But I didn't fundamentally shift anything. And so I think I've got this internal pressure, like I'm so fucking ready to change and transform and just open myself up and let my power emerge. My holistic, balance of solar and lunar energy as this fucking force of nature. Like I'm hungry for it to get out. So as I've been working on these things and sort of knocking these dominoes down, it's just like, oh, fucking thank God. There's an exit for that one. Oh shit, here's an exit for that one. Here's an exit for that one. And like the turning pro was like, oh, this is how I do my day-to-day shit. so it's good. It's really good. Now I'm going to start crying. Okay. What's going on? What are we going to talk about? I have a couple of AI things to talk about. Andy did not do that. I know I did that. But you know, but the coaching has helped me articulate these things that have just been unspoken behavior drivers. There was a question about the best free coding tool. Oh, bludgeoning me. That's true. You didn't bludgeon me. You're confident and persistent. Have you read the book? Have you read the book? I really need you to read the book. So I read the book. And now I'm a professional. I'm an artist, not an addict. Aw, Kyle, you're one of the bravest men I know, by the way. Thank you so much. What did you use to vibe code Project Cardboard with? It was lovable.dev. I think lovable.dev, if you're not a coder, if you just want to experience the magic of coding, you can go do it in Claude. Claude's got a Claude. If you flip Claude into Opus 4.6 and just go tell it to build you something, like tell it to build you a video game of a specific kind, and just watch it do what it does. It's pretty remarkable. But if you want something where you can actually launch something that's got a database and authentication and shit like that, Lovable's really good. Lovable.dev. So if you go to project-cardboard, project-cardboard.lovable.app, app, you can go play with my my project manager tool. That one's pretty good. There were two things I wanted to talk about other than turning pro and being a professional. What's so cool about the work that I'm going through right now is I'm discovering the sources of so much of my anxiety. And like by being able to name them and see them and visualize them. And in fact, where's my... I showed you guys this before. At the front of my little journal, I've got this visualization of me as a peasant envying Yale row boys. Like my whole life spent thinking that I was less than those other people, and then come to realize I'm that dude on top. I'm the fucking creative. I'm the fucking artist. I'm flying above all that shit. We live in a world now where you can visualize shit like that. I said I wanted a Renaissance painting of this image. That I had this breakthrough of this shit that was causing me so much anxiety in my life. And the ability to visualize it so cleanly and clearly and just like put it in the world and go, yeah, that was my fucking life. Look at me. I'm this artist, dude. It's so cool. Thank you for sharing your personal experience. Well, thank you for listening. Thank you for being there to listen. I've been working on a Claude app all weekend and went to ship it, and I had forgotten security features. Lovable stopped me. Good. Perfect. Awesome. That's great. Congrats. Lovable gives you 5 free prompts a day. That's cool. Okay, so there were two things that I wanted to talk about. One of them was there were a couple of big Super Bowl ads. Claude's Super Bowl ads taking down ChatGPT were awesome. your AI is going to get advertising, and their ads were really good. I think there was another AI thing, and then there was, I don't know if you saw it, but there was AI.com. So at some point toward the end of the third quarter, I think, of the world's most boring Super Bowl. It was an awful Super Bowl. Oh yeah. On AI Salon, if you go to community.thesalon.ai, Brandon did a write-up on all the commercials. Rather than writing up the game, he wrote up the commercials, which quite frankly were way better than the game. So go read his write-up on it. But anyway, one of the ads was this ad for AI.com. And it basically said, grab your handle now. And I like, so having crashed servers before, having run a digital agency in the mid 90s and predicting that we would crash servers, like the very first site that we built was for Sports Illustrated. We did the website for the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue in 1994. and there's like all these hot chicks on this website, these bikini clad sportswear babes, fashion models. And we said to the guys at Pathfinder, this is going to crash your servers. They're like, no, we're Time Inc. You can't crash our servers within 5 minutes. No, you crashed our servers. We're like, told you. So anyway, so I'm looking at this AI thing, says grab your handle now. I'm like, oh, that site's going to be dead. So I go to log into it. It's like error 503, Cloudflare errors coming up. Cloudflare is fine. Cloudflare is fine. We're fine. The site itself is fucked. So it was probably 20 minutes where you couldn't get into it, but I finally got into it, and I claimed my handles. So I claimed my name, I claimed AI Salon, I claimed Great Repurpose. And I didn't know what it was, and I don't really fucking care. Like I assume when you start seeing Super Bowl ads that are AI.com, grab your handle now, and the site crashes, you know that we're entering the hype cycle. Everyone thinks AI has been hyped. No, like the hype cycle is just beginning. It's just beginning. I would mark that AI.com ad as chef's kiss of the beginning of the hype cycle. So I've learned a little bit about AI.com since. Someone on X said they think it's just an Openclaw wrapper, which it very well may be. So Openclaw is this agentic thing, and what the site says is you're going to grab the name for yourself, and then you're going to grab the name for your agent, and your agent is going to go do all the things. So it's an agent building platform, but it's so overloaded that I'll go look at it tonight. We'll see if it's there. But here's what I learned. So Sam Altman bought AI.com in, I don't know, 7 years ago or something like that for $7 million, and pointed it to ChatGPT. Pointed it to something else, I guess to OpenAI, to get more people to go to OpenAI. Then he sold it, and Elon Musk bought it. I think he bought it for $30 million. And it was pointing to some XAI shit. And then he sold it. And whoever bought it last bought it for $70 million. So they paid minimum of $5 million for a Super Bowl spot and $70 million for a fucking domain name. And it apparently spun it up in a week or two. Like, if it is indeed an Openclaw wrapper, which it may not be, it very well could be a robust agentic platform that we're all going to be really excited to use. But anyway, that's what I know about it. I know that it's, they're 75 million in, and they haven't even started yet. Jesus, that's so funny. Oh my God. So that's that one. And then the other thing, so there's a couple of things. One of the things I said at the beginning of the year is I said, I think this is the year, launched in February 2026 by crypto.com. Oh, it was launched by a crypto bro. Oh, that's right. He paid $70 million for AI.com and he paid with crypto. So that makes sense. Focused on developing personal autonomous AI agents for mainstream users. So I've said a couple of things. When what was it called? Claudebot first came out, I said, don't install it. If you're not a geek, don't do it. Someone's going to do the consumer version of this. So it sounds like crypto.com bro. The OG crypto bro is gonna try to turn AI agents into a commercial product. He may do it. I doubt it. Like this feels like a flame out. But if it does go big, I've got my handle. Better than Coinbase or better than pets.com, right? It's like we're in the pets.com era. We're entering the pets.com era of AI. But I did say this is going to be the year that we all get to experience AI technology that's getting so good that it's going to make us go, oh, fuck. That it's going to start changing jobs. Brandon, bless his little heart. You all know producer Brandon? He isn't on screen much. Got a cute little goatee, swell fella, little kids, writes books. No? Anyway, he did this post today. Let me go look him up. Brandon Tidd. Which fucking busted me up. This is so good. I assume you didn't come up with this meme. If you did, it's really good, but let's see. Here it is. Share my screen. So Brandon puts this up. If you saw the Super Bowl yesterday, Bad Bunny was walking through this. You came up with this? Oh, this is so good. Okay, because it was too good and too close to what we're talking about with the Great Repurpose. Like it was too good. So if you didn't see the Super Bowl yesterday, they had this maze of sugarcane that Bad Bunny was navigating through when he started singing the thing. They had a limit to what they could put on the field, and so the production team came up with this idea that they would dress human beings as clumps of sugarcane and have them form the maze, right? So this meme, everyone at work insisting AI hasn't changed their job, right? And there's like two normal people and the rest are all these clumps of grass. This is happening, right? This is happening right now. And it's not even necessarily they're going to take our jobs. It's that we're all going to get some sort of weird promotion where instead of doing the thing we used to do for our job over the next 2 years we're going to be promoted. We're going to be promoted into managers of AI bots. And it's the task is going to be not to do the thing. The task is going to be to look at the things that do the thing and make sure they do the thing okay. Which, if you're not deeply centered in who you are, and let's say you loved doing the thing. Let's say you loved being a designer. You loved doing business analysis. You loved being a spreadsheet jockey. And now it's your job to watch these things make spreadsheets. That's going to be kind of like this meme, where there's just going to be these incapacitated zombies running around going, what am I doing? Why am I here? But they're still going to have a job. All their friends are going to have been laid off. But at least I'm employed. Right? So Openclaw, this agentic thing, feels like the first, like if you hear Jason Calacanis and all the people on Twitter and Brent Peterson on AI Salon office hours last Friday and HT Snow Day going, no, this is a really big fucking deal. The agents that you deal with on like Manus and GenSpark, those are cool. But this Openclaw thing, these agents have their own intentionality. They're proactive. They do shit overnight. they solve their own problems, right? We talked about what's his name? Alex Flynn? I don't know. Some dude on X. He went to bed one night and he woke up to a phone call, and his Claude bot had signed up for a Twilio account to get a phone number, hooked himself up to the 11 Labs voice synthesis API so that he could call his human friend, his human boss. So he could call him throughout the day and give him updates and ask for direction. So he received a call. So that's that. So the other thing that I wanted to play with tonight is I just wanted to go through and look at, there's a new thing coming from seeddance 2.0, that it looks like it can do video that's a minute long. Well, on YouTube, I have to think it's making me weak-minded. TikTok pin. Wait, Weaver's changed when commercial looms born, not less fabric. Oh, Weavers changed when commercial looms were born, not less fabric, more for the masses, not less. Yeah, but the job changed, right? Zombies love turtles. I like turtles. Future programmers aren't going to know anything. They're not going to have to. They can choose to. They're not going to have to. Everything's going to change. Everything's going to change. And if you're not actively figuring out who you are, what you value, what you want, what are you going to do when they take away the tasks? Where are you going to derive your sense of purpose and value in the world? And listen, you can absolutely say family and community and all that stuff. Great. What percentage of that is the job? So this new video model called seeddance came out, and it is similarly causing people that I respect to lose their shit. OpenAI rolls out chat ads to free users. Yeah, well, there you go. Just like the Super Bowl predicted. So I figured what might be good is let's go look at the output. So seeddance isn't out yet. It's available in China. It's not available here. It looks like in China it's fully unrestricted, and China doesn't give a shit about copyright, so it's got all the stuff in it. You can do anything in it, and it's really good, right? And it does long form multi-edit kind of creation. And so I thought it would be worth going to look at. I've made enough videos, like right now, prior to seeddance, every video editor out there, every motion graphics person can look at the shit that AI produces, even the most recent models, and go, yeah, well, that's not real video. This one feels like the first one that is starting to freak those people out, right? So I thought it might be fun to let's go look at some shit. Am I frozen on? Oh yeah, Higgsfield got their X account banned today. They've been doing some really sleazy marketing shit. And they did some stuff that was really like on the borderline of just like gross and unethical. I'm not frozen anywhere. Okay. So anyway, yeah, it looked like there was some brouhaha going with Higgsfield. They got banned today, so whatever. Again, the way Higgsfield marketed, so Higgsfield is just another one of those video tools. They marketed like they were run by a bunch of NFT bros. So we're starting to enter. So I've said this for a long time. We're early. The hype hasn't even started yet. I think the hype is starting right now. So you're going to see more and more sleazy plays of agents and sex bots and stupid fucking URLs that, you can't figure out what the fuck the thing does. Like that's just we're entering that era. So know that as confusing as it is now just to keep up with the real shit, we're about to be inundated with a bunch of like, shouldn't have been invested in the first place shit, right? So that's coming. That's good to know. And we're going to start seeing tools that are so good that it makes it quite evident to all of us that it's coming for all the jobs. And it's up to us to regain our own agency. So let's go to Seeddance. Seeddance 2. All right, if you can share my screen there. I mean, that's pretty indistinguishable from shit I remember as a kid. All right, here's another one.
フリーレン、よく釣れたな。
ああ、これぐらい簡単よ。
How sad they all look. All right. Let me just do Seeddance and not 2.0. Couple of things I don't know. I don't know how long the generations are. I don't know of the things that are blowing people's mind, how much editing was done, how much post, all that sort of stuff. So it is very possible that these are all cherry-picked examples, but there seem to be enough of them and enough people that that don't always buy into the hype are talking about this as a big deal. So I feel like Openclaw was the first thing to drop this year. Maybe this is the second one.
These trees will turn yellow in a month, won't they?
But they'll be green again next summer.
Are you always this optimistic? Or just about summer?
Only about summers with you.
Actually, that's really good. So the acting's still a little flat like it always is, but look at their eye contact.
Summer.
Are you always this optimistic?
Okay, so right here, she's not looking at him. So there's a moment where it's weird. She's not looking at him, but right there, now she is looking at him. Now it cuts to, and there she's looking at him, and now it cuts to him, and bang, his eyesight, his eye line is perfect. One of the tells of AI video is they always look like they're looking off to the side of someone's head. They don't ever look like they're making eye contact. So that's pretty good. All right. Physics here look good. Like if I stop this, none of the oranges look like people. None of the people look like oranges. The cop behind him looks normal. He looks normal. The boxes look normal. His face looks good. Cop's still wearing the same fur collar that he was before. Like that scene, this scene, like look at all the cops' legs. All the legs look like actual legs. Like there's no feet missing. If I don't know if Joy Purdy's on here. If you had just waited for Seeddance, you wouldn't have had to spend 5 months putting ballerinas' hands back on their arms. Now that's a 10-second clip. So what that probably tells me is that Seeddance is making 10-second clips, but maybe you can make a minute-long clip, and here's a 15-second clip. That's some weird physics. Not bad. Let's see. There's a weird physics thing, but she jumped straight up. Okay, she jumps straight up, and then she pushes off with her back foot in the air, and it propels her body forward. Okay, so that's weird. But all the swords look like swords. All the feet look like feet. That still looks like her face. Who knows what killed them? But maybe she killed them with her magic mind. Let's see. Oh, wait. Let's look. Okay. Here's a continuity error. It's one of my favorite things to look for. Right there, there's a teapot knocked over. And then you come to the end, and as this thing pans back, the teapot is still on the... Now it's upright. That kind of stuff I love looking for in movies. But it's pretty fucking good. This is being really nitpicky. Here's a 2.5 minute. Confirmed Seeddance 2.0 has now banned the use of real people's portraits in video creation. All right, whatever. All right, we're starting to see the same clips. Here's a new one. 11.
你就已经找好下个新娘，婚纱照还没裱框，你就已经找好下个新娘了。你监视我手机！婚纱照还没裱框，你就已经找好下个新娘了。你监视我手机！
You could at least make a soap opera. All right, here's another one. 45 seconds. Yeah.
Accompagnant de ce jour, le procès de la production des images se trouve profondément renouvelé. Permettez-moi de vous en faire la démonstration. Le résultat final est une image d'une fineur extrêmement élevée.
La peinture est désormais morte.
That's what's his name. A talk I gave, I talked about that guy that said, from this day, painting is dead, when he saw the first daguerreotype. So that's pretty funny that someone made a video about that moment. They keep showing that action scene because it's pretty good. All right, that's all I got. So that must be the bulk of the clips. There might be more of them, but anyway, that's all of my prepared remarks. What time is it? Okay, so a couple of things. This doesn't look to me, it looks like this is probably a step change up, but I would assume also that the other video models probably have similar things cooking in their back end. Did I see the Svedka ad? No, I didn't. When everyone can program with just a prompt, who's going to debug what's in the AI cart? Is that what that says? Oh, when the AI can't. Well, so here's the thing. Here's the thing that's fucked up, Will 2023 on Censorship Tube. Part of my point in talking about Openclaw and showing the seeddance stuff is that what became clear to me at the end of 2025 is that things were starting to accelerate. That is, as fast as the change was coming from the end of 2022, 23, 24, we get into 2025, starting kind of midsummer toward end of the summer of 2025, more and more stuff started dropping that was significant advancements. So there was an acceleration that started happening. The chief product officer of Anthropic basically said in a talk yesterday that effectively 100% of the new products being developed at Anthropic are being written by AI. Effectively 100%. Now, Anthropic and all the frontier companies, they have plenty of engineers that if something goes wrong, they can fix it. But he didn't say 80%. He didn't say 90%. He said effectively 100%. Now, effectively might mean they have to do some interventions at some point. But that's 100. And if you take something like Openclaw, where you've got these proactive agents that can also spin up sub-agents, the ones that are going to user test, do user acceptance testing and compare it to the PRDs, the product requirement documents, those are all going to be agents. So who's going to be fixing the code when the coding bots fuck up are the 270 agents that are going to go do all these specialized tasks to debug and fix all the problems in the code. That's why, like, we're in a weird phase right now, probably for the next year, where we're going to be able to sit on our soapboxes and our expert chairs and go, you really need me to fix the shit, because when it gets the shit wrong, we're not going to be there for that much longer. Now, it doesn't mean we don't have a role, but our role shifts dramatically. Let's see, AI generated it. Okay, I'll check that out. Cool. The valuable role moving forward, I think, it's the only thing I can see, is if you've got agents that are effectively doing all of the task work, they're going to do it all to a certain level. And then at some point, something is going to rise above the noise. Well, what's going to rise above the noise? Well, likely some human will have some idea. Oh, what if we did this with this thing? What if we took this concept and that concept and we married them, and right? And then that human is kind of shepherding the agents to deliver something that no one else has seen before, something that rises above the noise. That's what I think our job becomes, is to have ideas and to maintain the fidelity of those ideas as you understand which of these agent swarms to be able to deploy on your behalf or your company's behalf. So I think there's a new kind of creative director superstar coming that will be like the idea guy who can maintain the fidelity of the idea, or the idea girl. Woman. Sorry, I'm 60. I have bad habits. Is that going to happen in a year? Is that going to happen in 2 years, 5 years? I don't know, but it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen within a year. I worry that this is going to make people extremely dumb. I think that it's going to make people extremely hopeless. What's funny, Will, is I don't know how much like vibe coding you do and playing. Like, one of the things I strongly recommend is play cross discipline, like explore outside of your domain. really go look at, if you're not good at drawing or making movies or whatever, you're really good at coding, I would strongly encourage you to explore what's going on with coding, but also go explore across domains. Because what you might find is there might be something in those other domains that really excites you, that you could take your coding knowledge and be like a superstar in some other domain because you think differently than they think over there. So there's all sorts of cool stuff to do. I think AI absolutely makes it easy for lazy people to be lazy. And lazy people are going to get dumb. But lazy people probably already are. It's not going to make them dumber. It's just going to make them lazier. And they're going to take advantage of that. Lazy people that don't want to do anything with their life, they're just going to keep doing that. Now they're going to be empowered to do that even more. What AI requires, if you want to do it right, is an incredible depth of critical thinking. To be able to like look at what's coming, look at what's here now, look at what's coming, look at all these other different things you can do. Figure out how I can take an idea, express it in multiple domains at the same time, maintain the fidelity of that core idea across domains using all these different tools that all have their quirks and personalities. I have never been so engaged intellectually and creatively in my life as I've been in the past 3 years. It is absolutely the opposite of what your fear is. Unless you're lazy. You know, the famous MIT study that came out that said, you know, AI makes people dumber. What you actually found, if you read the piece, was that people that just push a button and publish the results are dumb. And don't improve. But people who push the button and look at what came out of it and think critically about it and go, and push the button again and collaborate with it as if they were collaborating with a really smart savant that had no common sense, their brains actually got smarter. That was the fourth conclusion in that paper. There were 3 conclusions that all of the papers talked about. Makes people dumber. There was a 4th conclusion. When you engage with it with your critical mind and your creative mind and you do shit with it, it makes you smarter. Meltdown Mondays are here. TikTok pin. Joy Purdy. Oh, wait, what was the pin? Mary. Didn't we all have a teacher that said, if you ask the right questions, you'll get the right answers? That's the new skill. If you're good with talky bits, if you're good with ideas and being able to articulate them, you are going to be a rock star in this world we're entering. If you're AI literate, if you sit on the sidelines and like, I don't like it, it smells. You're going to get your ass handed to you. My film script title I'm working on is titled Shirtless Shepherd. Love it. And by the way, Will, I'm not yelling at you. I'm like, it's the thing that gets my blood pressure up is that it's so easy to fall into the tropes. There are so many tropes. Well, if it's creative, you're going to be less creative. If it's smart, you're going to be less smart. It steals. It's the world's greatest plagiarism machine. People don't understand how the technology works. They don't understand how to actually engage with it. They don't understand what a chain of craft looks like that includes human contribution and machine contribution, informing one another over time to produce sophisticated results. They assume, if AI did it, it's slop. No. It's slop if it's slop. If someone was lazy and was like, that's slop. I'll give you that. But don't assume that the work that Joy Purdy does for her award-winning films is slop just because she uses AI. Right? It's that simplistic bullshit that makes it just drives me fucking batty. It's just not my lived experience with the people doing amazing work. Okay, the Svedka ad. Mind your tabs. Okay, let me click on this. That's McAfee.
First and foremost, huge fan, Mr. McAfee.
Since new AILL arrived, they don't want to help me stopping or just... I don't quite know what that means, but okay. All right, let's... Okay. So what is this? This is AI-generated ad from the Christmas Coke agency, but because it wasn't ripping off a classic, no one noticed or cared. Oh, okay, interesting. Nice. There you go. It's fine. It's a fine commercial. Like, I mean, here's an interesting thing. Does it really fucking matter if that commercial was created with 3D rigged puppets, digital puppets that were composited over real people being filmed dancing? No. Do you give a shit? No. It's just another fucking tool. We'll get over this. We'll get over the absolute shock and horror that, oh my God, they used an AI tool. We'll get over it. We got over hip hoppers sampling music. We figured out that could actually be music. Like, hip hop is actually a form of self-expression now. I think that ad is slop. It's fine. Like, it's just,
If it's okay with you,
it's a boring ad. It's a boring ad. The Duncan ad was great, though. Yeah, there's some good ones out there. Listen, again, Kelly, you're making the point I was making earlier, that there's going to be so much stuff like that Svedka ad is the kind of thing that algorithmic, agents will be able to make those. It's just going to crank out ads like that. And then someone's going to do something really creative, right? That stands apart from the crowd because someone goes, okay, I can see all the patterns. All these ads look the same. What if we did something very different? You're just passionate. I am passionate. But Kyle, the self-doubt is real. Intellect, smartless. Yeah, I know. Thank you. I've argued with people all week this past week. I am here. Listen, I sense your frustration and rage, so I get it out here for you. Yeah, the Anthropic ads were great. China's embracing AI a lot with food services. Well, China's embracing AI everywhere. Like, from what I understand, people that have gone back to China and have kind of done reports from the inside that know the AI world here, they're like, there's none of this resistance bullshit. There's no people in China standing on the sidelines going, we shouldn't make progress. I don't know. We're in a weird fucking state, man. But I'll tell you what, it's time for people to recognize that here's the cold reality. We all already live in the future. But we're in a cusp, we're in a transition. And some people, like a lot of the people that hang out on this channel and people that you know that are thinking about how we can use AI to amplify our humanity rather than trying to battle AI to save our humanity. There are two different futures operating simultaneously right now. And some of us are living in this other one. We're all living in this new future. There's a bunch of people kind of living in this old one that's dying. And it's just going to become more and more and more apparent. And so I think it's up to us that can see what's coming to prepare these other people for what's about to happen. So China's a mess. Fascinating. They don't want to disappear. I think I understand. You don't need to convince me. TikTok pin, get off my sticky. Oh, sorry. Sorry, producer Brandon. I made his sticky note uneditable. That's annoying. Oh, man. What time is it? All right, it's getting to be time. Let me get on out of here. Anybody have any final thoughts? At this point, it's a good feeling being here. Yilang Ma, good to see you. Think of all the papers I've written and things. Yeah, exactly. There's still a TikTok pin. we want Kyle to lower his cortisol levels now. The future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed. Yeah, sure. That's it. I mean, William Gibson called it, right? Right. The jagged frontier. Was it Ethan Mollick that called it the jagged frontier, or someone called it the jagged frontier? We're in the jagged frontier. If you're spending time on this channel with any regularity, you're already there. You know what's coming. You know what's here. We essentially can see the shape of how this movie moves forward. There's just this increasing gap between that mindset and this other mindset. They think they're in a different world than they're actually in. And so that's going to be our challenge. That's the whole point of the Great Repurpose, is if we can name it and articulate it and provide a bridge for these people, then I don't know. I think good things happen in the world, or better things happen in the world than without that. So that's the thing I'm really excited about. All right. You all good? Have you used Google Anti-Gravity yet? You can use Cloud Opus 4.62. I downloaded Anti-Gravity, and when I saw the 46 pages of preferences, I uninstalled it. I'm like, I am not prepared to go through 46 pages of settings to set up my little coding environment. I don't give a fuck. I want to go to something like Lovable and go, Daddy wants a video game, and it makes me a video game. Daddy wants to make money with the video game, and it installs e-commerce. Daddy wants it to be secure, and it fixes all the bugs. That's it. That's all I want. But I'm sure it's awesome. Oh my God. Rock, paper, scissors, me too. That's way above my pay grade. Exactly. Oh man. These are ideas I can use. I'm subbing. That's great. All right. I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all, hope you had a good Monday night. What's tomorrow night? It's nothing. It's Nothing. Just a normal Tuesday. Just another magic Monday. Yeah, tomorrow's Tuesday. So I'll see you here at 8 o'clock. If those of you that are, if you're new here tonight, welcome. If you're returning here tonight, welcome back. Do me a favor. I'd like to start spreading the word about this channel. I want to start shifting the conversation to this idea of the great repurpose and daily practices and things like that. We'll still do some AI stuff, but I want to start building the conversation here. So if you know anyone who is living in the future, from the future, that's heart-centered and up to some things in the world, I'd like them to be in this conversation. Start thinking about that. Thanks, Will. Thanks for your gotta go to. Yeah, I wasn't looking at the time. I know it's late. This is a late thing. Oh, Steve left a comment for me in regulars. I'll go check that out. But Will, thanks for hanging out and thanks for your good questions. Please come back. As most of you know, what surprised me yesterday was my grandmother saying, I know it's not real pop. We use it every day at school. She said, that stopped me for a moment. For me, this stuff feels new for them. Oh, this is cool. From Steve-O. As most of you know, this is a comment Steve-O put in Irregulars. As most of you know, I only use ChatGPT for creating images of Kyle and Champ and sometimes fun images of my grandchildren in different places with different characters. What surprised me yesterday was my granddaughter saying, I know it's not real pop. We use it in school every day. She's 8. That stopped me for a moment. For me, this stuff feels new. For them, it's already normal. And that happens even on this channel where the stuff that blew our minds, within a month or two becomes completely normalized. And we're like, why isn't it better? Why isn't it faster? But you're right, man. Like Brandon's kids, any kid right now that's in the just single digits, they are living in a world where they understand that they can just ask for it and it will be generated. And that's going to get more and more and more powerful and more normal. And all the jobs are going to change. And we are going to be trying to figure out what do we do next. And we'll figure it out. Unlike many people on the planet that are just like, it's going to steal our jobs and everything will be dead. No. Look at history. Every tech challenge, every tech transformation, every single one feels like this. It's going to kill. No. We're going to figure it out. We're going to figure out how to coexist with it. And it's going to change everything. And it's going to require us, I think, to understand who we are and what we want and the difference we want to make in the world. That's going to be our core job. Our core job is going to be to have a point of view. Period. Because all the other stuff will be taken care of. Whew. All right. Beautiful. I only know Ava 2045 from the future. Night, everyone. All right, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, mods. Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate everyone. Have a good night.